Liberty Falls has got a lot of criticism from the community, and I'm not an exception to this. I have made multiple videos on how I feel Liberty Falls looks bad. However, there are some good aspects of the map that I haven't seen too many, if any, people talking about. So I wanted to talk about a few things today that I feel are actually good about Liberty Falls. The first thing I want to mention is probably the most obvious, the jet gun. The jet gun looks incredible in this map. The jet gun was previously known as literally the worst wonder weapon in all Call of Duty Zombies. However, they completely flipped it around in this game, and it looks like it might be one of the best wonder weapons ever. When it overheats now, it does not explode. There's a counter on the bottom right that shows you when it's about to overheat. It now sucks up salvage and power-ups, and it also has a new secondary fire feature to where if you have 100% of the jet gun ready, you can do an alternate fire type to where the jet gun explodes into basically a big fireball and kills everything around it, and it seems like it's very good at even killing bosses such as the Mangler and the Abominations. They really have completely done a 180 with the jet gun, and it seems like it is very, very, very strong wonder weapon, and I'm super excited to actually get to use it for the first time. Second thing I want to talk about is the inside of the church, the Dark Ether Church. The inside of this church looks so cool to me. If you look up in the skybox is so beautiful. It has like these floating purple rocks. The Dark Ether looks way better in Black Ops 6 than it did in Cold War. In Cold War, it looked really good, but I think the Dark Ether looks even better in this church. It seems so much more vibrant and colorful. The Dark Ether in Cold War was amazing, don't get me wrong, but I think it's even better. Just the inside of this church has so much aura and atmosphere. That's the #1 thing missing from like the rest of the map, minus a few areas that we'll touch on later. I think the Pack-a-Punch machine also looks cool, even though it doesn't have the knuckle crack animation. That's not the biggest deal to me. I do think the actual model itself looks really good. Speaking of Pack-a-Punch, the third thing I wanted to mention is the Pack-a-Punch camo in the gameplay trailer they put out. I'll put it on screen right now. Doesn't that just look way better to you guys? Like, this Pack-a-Punch camo is beautiful. It looks so good to me. It looks so much better than the baked beans camo we have in the actual game. Like, can we go back to this one? Like, please? Like, I don't know why you showed it in the trailer, but you didn't show it at COD Next. Like, this camo is beautiful. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I think this camo looks phenomenal. Like, look at this, man. And then you got the other two colors. It's kind of hard to see them, but you can see the other variants with the people sliding. Like, look at that, man. Doesn't that just look beautiful to you guys? Like, isn't that way better than the actual camo they showed? Like, I don't know what the thought process behind that was. The third thing I want to talk about is the trap in the comic book store called Etherella. Etherella is basically a life-size version of an action figure. Activate the trap and she shoots lasers out of her eyes. That is such a cool trap and a cool idea. And it also has story implications. Like, how does the general public know what Dark Ether is? Because clearly she's got ether powers, like she's from the Dark Ether, or she has, you know, just Dark Ether powers. So how do people know what that is? Like, that has some serious story implications. Also, I want to say that I think that the traps on this map are decent. I'm not the biggest fan of the traps like near the spawn that are just like the electric floor. Those are kind of generic, but this trap in particular is really, really cool to me, and I think it is very epic. And I think it fits zombies perfectly. And I'm surprised that we never had a trap like this in previous games. The next thing I want to talk about is just the comic book store in general. The comic book store is awesome. It has these really, really cool posters. For example, there's a poster that says Origins, but it's a picture of the Horizon Drac intro cutscene, which is really weird. Like, does that mean that we're relating this game to past storylines? Because you can clearly see that it's the Horizon Drac cutscene, but it has the text Origins under it. There's also a poster that has the Black Ops 1 guy on it in the comic book store. I can't remember what it says exactly, but it says something like super duper Call of Duty or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's pretty cool. I also wanted to mention the bowling alley. I think the bowling alley looks beautiful. It has such amazing lighting with the reds and the blues. The blue Mr. Peak's neon sign on the wall. And then there's a red sign in there. I don't remember what it is, but it has this nice glow lighting. I think the bowling alley looks incredible. It looks so amazing. And then the last thing I did want to talk about is the story of the map. This map has some very deep and rich story. In the intro cutscene, we can see that Richtofen tells Blanchard to secure the command post and call in the response teams. However, we know from a blog post that Activision made that Blanchard tries to call in the command team, but they all die, and then we show up and we actually work for Requiem, but Blanchard doesn't know that, so he thinks that we are on his side when actually we're his enemy. So we have to help him so that we can get to Maxis and Richtofen in the Dark Ether. So this map has some actual very big storyline implications for the entire game for Black Ops 6. Are we going there to try to save Maxis from the Dark Ether? Are we going there to try to save Richtofen from the Dark Ether? Are we going to capture Richtofen? We don't know, right? And also, Blanchard mentions in the beginning of the game when you first start to bring the scientist to the mansion that he's held up in. So I also believe that this map has some hidden areas that we actually were not able to see at COD Next. Also, when you pull out the TAC map, you can see on the right side of the screen it says there's a teleporter. However, there was no teleporters in COD Next. There was never anywhere you could teleport to. There was no teleportation device. There was no teleport fast travel. There was nothing. That makes me believe that we're going to teleport to a different area of the map. Also, in the intro cutscene, Richtofen is in the museum, or I guess it could be a mansion that Blanchard speaks of. So it makes me think that we're going to teleport there or somewhere near there. So I do really believe that all of Liberty Falls has not been seen yet. I could be wrong that this could age terribly and we've seen all Liberty Falls and it's actually a terrible map. We'll have to see how that ages though. But I think that Liberty Falls is going to be a little bit better than people actually think it's going to be. I think that people are blindly hating the game. Now, I'm not saying that there's not fair critiques of the game and the map. There are definitely fair critiques and things that I wish they would change. But there is a lot of blind hate, I would say. I know people are going to say, oh, this is the next level glazing. Oh, you're glazing the game so hard. 10 out of 10 rage bait. But these are just my opinions, and that's what I think. So I do believe Liberty Falls is going to be an okay map. I think it's going to be better than we expect. And I'm just really excited to play it on launch. So if you guys want to see me read comments from the community and see what they actually think about the game, you can watch this video right here. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.